So my name is Weinstein. I've been in the accounting business for 11 years. For about 4 or 5 years ago, I started my own company called LMW Financial. We do anything from accounting, bookkeeping, business management, tax consulting. Any way to help a client with tax authorities or to help them save tax dollars. Well, when I first started with remote staffing, I definitely had a lot of concerns. One, obviously, do I trust the people who I'm working with? Two, what is it going to entail? Three, all the costs involved. And at the end of the day, it's just like hiring somebody else at the office. You have to give the same detail, the same attention, the same training, except it's someone that you have a little bit of a different relationship with in terms of how remote they are and some of the things you have to do in order to assign them work and how to approach them. In the beginning, it was a lot of hands-on training, just like you would when you hire somebody new. And at the end of the day, once you hire them, you need to expect that it'll take them some time to get used to it, and you have to treat them as part of the team. It has to do with scheduling morning meetings, or at least 5-10 minutes a day to talk with them over the phone, ways to review, ways to incorporate them. We have specifically a once-a-week meeting where my remote staff calls in and we check on status, ask them if they have any questions, ask them if there are any concerns about any of the projects or they need some help. So they have to be treated just like a part of the team, and everything that you would have with somebody here or locally, you would have to actually expect the same from them. Now you might think, oh, but it's going to be complicated. I have different, I have all this paperwork, or I'm going to need to, how am I going to get all the work done? There are going to be things that you just can't assign to somebody, okay? Especially if you need something right now, they won't be available, either because of time differences or because it's just not feasible to do it remotely. But a lot of things you can have done remotely. You can have one of your staff that is local scan it in, and you can send them an email in advance and assign it to them and then expect it. And what's nice is that if I have something to do and I need it by the next morning, I can easily just send an email, say, hey, this is what I need, please get it done by tomorrow morning, and have everything done for me. And even though it's 5 p.m., I have it ready for me now the next morning, and I don't have to expect one of my local staff to complete it. So there's definitely a lot of perks with that, but you cannot expect everything to happen overnight, and you cannot expect it to be magical just by saying, oh, I hired a remote staff, they should know what they're doing. That's not the case. Just like local staff, you need to train them in the same way and give them the same attention, and basically act as though, or treat them as though they're part of the team, because they are. And the moment you do that, just like me, I'm very happy and very successful, and I keep on hiring remote staff in order to do the work, and they do a fantastic job. So in terms of the hiring process, I can kind of do a little comparison. When I hire someone on my own, it's very time consuming. First of all, I have to either pay for different websites, or if it's free websites, you don't always get the greatest quality candidates. And at the end of the day, you get a flood of resumes, hundreds of resumes that you have to sift through, either you or one of your staff. It's additional money that you're paying for the work, or your time, which is a lot of money. And at the end of the day, you're not even sure you're getting the right quality candidates, and you're taking the chance, and you don't even know if what they're saying is true. So there's a lot of like you can't validate it. You have to call. It's very time consuming and painful. And with Entigrity, they screen everything for you. They say, okay, you tell them exactly the requirements you need. They screen a whole bunch of candidates, and they say, okay, here's top 3, top 4 candidates. Here's your interview process. And usually, in my experience, the candidates that they offered were all qualified, and I had to choose with who I got along the best with and that personality fit for my office. But I knew that everyone is qualified and everyone can handle the work that I had to assign them. Now, you can say, oh, well, I can use a staffing agency to do this or something like that. But staffing agencies not only take a lot of money, they do the same thing, but they take a whole bunch of money on top of that. And then if they bring somebody new and you want to hire them out, or it's just it's not cost efficient at all. And you're paying an arm and a leg in addition. With Entigrity, you get qualified candidates who have a culture of working hard and giving it their all, as long as you also, what's called, show your commitment to them and challenge them. And at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everybody. You get someone who's qualified, and you don't have to go through all the costs of it. And pretty much the hiring process is free. They don't really charge you other than a small little startup fee or an application fee. Other than that, they find somebody for you, and you're golden. In regards to hiring interns or hiring someone part-time, with interns, there's a lot of training involved, and you have to really commit your time to them. They don't have any experience, and it's not that it's a bad thing. I've had many people and many colleagues that have hired interns and great successful stories, but at the end of the day, I personally have hired people without experience and interns, and within 3-6 months, it's either they say, okay, well, I'm not sure this is really what I want to do with my life, because they're interns. They don't know what they want to do. So at the end of the day, they just say, okay, well, we'll go discover something else. Maybe I don't want to do accounting, I'll do finance. And you just spend 3 to 6 months hiring somebody who doesn't even know or doesn't even want to do accounting. So all that training time, everything has gone to waste. With Entigrity, I knew exactly what I was getting. I was getting somebody who loves accounting, or at least this is their profession and this is their bread and butter. And at the end of the day, this is what they do. And I know that these are the person who I can count on. If it's seasonal, great. But my seasonal hiring has turned into full-time hiring, because at the end of the day, I knew exactly, I was happy with what I was getting for, and I didn't want to give that up. I would definitely recommend Entigrity to anyone who needs any sort of help with staffing. Do your due diligence just like I did, but at the end of the day, you're going to discover that it's both the cost-efficient and effective way to do things, and also you get the most skilled staff for what you're doing. It's the best bang for your buck. I already have right now two staff, Entigrity staff. I started with one, then I hired somebody seasonally, and now I have 2 full-time staff. And as I'm expanding and getting more and more clients in, I'm just going with Entigrity and staffing that way. Remote staffing is the future. It's how you can get work done. It's not difficult as long as you're putting in the time and the training and everything you need. And if it wasn't for Valet and Sean, I probably wouldn't have been happy and felt that somebody's taken care of me. At the end of the day, any issues, any problems, any explanations of how anything works technology-wise, connecting with different new remote staff or any sort of concern, they're super helpful. They make sure everything is taken care of, and they do it efficiently and at any time, even if it's nighttime or daytime, whatever time I call, they're quick to get back to me and they take care of everything. So a special thank you to them, and if you happen to deal with Valet or Sean, put the trust in them and definitely go with Entigrity.